Welcome back, everybody. I am Mish.
I'm Bree.
And this is Chat MBTea,
where we talk about life and shoot the shit.
Yeah. So happy to have you. Welcome back to our little podcast. This is officially our first full episode.
I'm so excited.
If you did not listen to our intro, go back and listen where we tell you a little bit about us and then come back for more. So do you have any life updates today, Bree?
Honestly, no. I'm a pretty boring person.
You are so far from boring. Your life may be like the same thing every day, but you are so far from boring.
No, like I have a schedule that it's just I do the same thing if you ask me what I'm doing on Monday, it doesn't change. You know what I mean?
I get it.
How about you? Any life updates?
Not really. I got a lash lift this week.
Ooh.
And a facial. I got a chemical peel. My skin is super dry, but
we love that.
We do what we have to do.
We do. It's perks of being... Oh, I actually do have... It's actually really not that exciting because it hasn't happened yet, but I'm very excited. I made an appointment to get my hair done.
Hell yeah, you did.
Because I haven't gone to get my hair done in over a year.
I love that for you.
Yeah, my hairstylist, she had a kid, so now or second kid, so now she has 2 under 2. So I haven't heard from her if she's back, and she had the baby like last year. She recommended someone, and I finally pulled the trigger and made the appointment. So March 1st, I'm back to the dark side, finally.
Nice. This episode will probably be released after that, so you could give us an update.
You'll see the new hair.
The new hair. I also, going off of that track, also made a haircut appointment. Haven't gotten a haircut in over 6 months, but that's at the end of February.
You desperately need a trim. Like my ends are dying, but it is what it is.
The important thing is the appointments are made.
Exactly. There we go. We're good.
Yay.
All right. So, Mish, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about best friends and what makes a best friend. What is a best friend? Why do we keep them around? And yeah.
Oh,
here we go.
So what would you consider to be a best friend? Like if you had to define it, what would it be to you?
You. It would literally be a picture of your face in the dictionary under best friend. And it would just be Bree's portrait.
I love this. I love you.
I love you. You are my best friend. And I think you embody the definition of a best friend because you're always there, no matter what. There's never any judgment.
No.
I can call you at any time, whether you wake up. If it's in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. is a whole different story. But I feel like after everything that we've been through, and as long as we have been friends, which is 11 years, by the way, yeah, you are it. You are my definition of a best friend.
It makes my heart so happy. Oh. No, I definitely feel that. Like you are my definition of a best friend in the sense that you embody everything that is amazing. Like you are the most kind, caring, and understanding person that I know. And there's truly no judgment, which I think is so hard to find. I think there's always a bit of judgment, especially with girls in particular, but there truly is none here. And I always feel seen with you, and I know that I can be vulnerable with you, and that you're going to help me in whatever way that you can.
Yeah, I love that.
I love you.
Oh, I'm so glad.
This is a little sappy.
This is a little sappy.
We're not the sappy
we
ever.
are not ever the sappy. It gets a little awkward at some point where it's just like, all right, we got it. Let's move on. Love you. Let's move forward.
Stop talking now.
Yeah. So let's stop with the sappiness.
Okay, seriously. So to that kind of extent, like what separates friends from best friends?
I think a best friend, like I said with you, right? Like I could tell you anything. It's a judgment-free zone. We're just talking, you hear me, you listen to me, you might not agree with me and respectfully give me your opinion, but I feel like just a friend is not as honest as a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like there's a line between best friend and friend, and that line is honesty. Whereas you're not as forthcoming with just a friend or an acquaintance. Like for me personally, if somebody, not you, that was just a friend, asked me, or was just like telling me something about something, whatever. I can't think of an example off the top of my head. But they're not asking for my opinion. I'm not going to give it to them.
100%.
I'm just going to be like, okay, cool. Like, good for you. Yeah, that's great for you if that's what you want to do. If they ask me my opinion, I would say, yeah, think that's a great idea. Or like, nicely, I'd kind of be like, don't love that. But if that's what you want to do, go for it. Where with you, my best friend, I would be like, Brie, that's a horrible idea.
Be like, what are you doing?
What are you doing? If you still, at the end of the day, decide to do whatever it is that you want to do, I will be your ride or die through it. 100%. I will be like, I will support you no matter what, but I'm going to give you my dead honest opinion, whether you ask for it or not.
No, because that's our role. You're supposed to be that buffer, that person that's like, okay, I don't know what's going on in your head, but dumb. Try again.
Yes.
And then when they do the dumb thing, inevitably, because it will happen, we're there and we're like, okay, I told you this was going to happen. I love you. What do you need?
Exactly. Like, all right, we're in the fallout.
Right.
Let me support you, help the best I can.
Absolutely. I think there's like one of my absolute favorite stories of our friendship, like throwing it back to when we were like teens. We were friends, maybe like a year, 2 years at this point?
No, it was senior year.
Okay, so we've been friends at that point for 4 years. And that's crazy.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Like, but there was a lot of lead up to this point. There's a reason.
Right. And so you guys, if you listen to the intro, you know how we became friends. And truly, after that, we literally were inseparable. Mm-hmm. We did everything together. Mish would come to my house when I was not home and have dinner with my parents and then text me, are you coming to eat dinner? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I'm sitting at your kitchen table. Where are you?
Yeah.
Like, there was literally no boundaries, not like in a bad way, but we were just attached to the hip.
Yeah. It was all or nothing.
Literally. And it was amazing.
The best thing ever.
It really was. But this story brings my heart so much happiness because of the fact that I think if this was anybody else, I would have hit them.
Yeah.
And that is truly showing that line between like friends and best friends. Like, I need to have this conversation, break this off before it gets to be too much. And she's like, I really need the emotional support. Would you come and sit in the car with us as I do this? And I said, absolutely fucking not.
Not a chance.
There is not a chance in hell I'm going to awkwardly third wheel. So I said no, right? Very clearly, no. She goes, okay, if you won't sit with me while I do it, she's like, will you at least come grab coffee with me beforehand to give me like a pep talk? I was like, absolutely, I got you. So we go to Dunkin' because it was like all the rage back in high school.
Of course.
We went every day.
Also, all that we can afford at the time.
Yeah. So we go to Dunkin' and I'm giving her this whole pep talk. I'm like, you got this. Just be honest, be nice. Like, it'll be fine. He seemed like he's an understanding person. It's going to work out. I was like, all right, you ready to take me home? She's like, yeah. We start driving and you have to make a left when you're coming from Dunkin' in order to go to my house. And we're driving and we're driving and we're driving. And she goes straight, right through the light, straight. I'm like, you missed the turn to my house.
I'm like, no, I didn't.
I'm like, what do you mean no? Like that, it's that way. She's like, nope, you're coming with me. She kidnapped me.
I did. I kidnapped her. I wholeheartedly was like, you know what? Nope, not taking you home. You're coming with me, whether you like it or not.
So I'm in the car and I'm like, well, where am I supposed to go? She's like, just like sit on the floor behind the passenger seat. I'm like, he's gonna see me. And she's like, I don't know, figure it out. Okay, so now we're rushing because she told him she'd be there in 5 minutes. And We're literally like 7 minutes away. We pull up a block and a half from his house, and she goes, okay, get in the trunk. Now, I had two very clear options. I could have been like, I'm walking home. Or I could do exactly what I ended up doing, which was, all right, grab my 90% full iced coffee and got in her trunk.
Also, I have to mention, it was the dead middle of winter. I think it was January.
Around there.
It was winter. It was cold as all hell. And she did. She got into the trunk.
Oh my, wait, I missed probably the funniest part is I get in the trunk and all I say to her is, please just give me a heads up when you're turning. And she goes, okay, right, smacks my head. Within the first minute and a half of being in the trunk, boom.
I'm sorry.
It's hysterical. So I'm like, all right, I'm half concussed in the back of this car. Literally, like, okay, I'm just going to sit here. They're going to have like maybe a half-hour conversation and we're going to call it a day. Incorrect. We're leaving that in because I almost ate the microphone. Sorry. Well, so I am half confused.
Can you stop?
I'm sorry. I talk with my hands. I'm Italian. So.
Oh my God. You've been the only one smacking the mic this whole time. I want you to know any mic smack sounds that you hear.
It's my fault.
Is Bree's fault entirely.
Without a doubt, my fault. So. This is going on for like, I want to say over an hour.
No, was it really?
Yes. Okay. And it is freezing.
To my defense, I did not realize because I'm a teenager and I don't think of these things. It's dumb now, hindsight being 2020. I didn't realize that the heat doesn't travel back to the trunk.
So the entire time I am freezing in her trunk and I am shivering so hard that the car is shaking.
Yeah.
I'm literally like in the back of the car. And he notices the car is shaking. He's like, why is the car shaking? She realizes it's me, is trying not to laugh, starts shaking her leg and is like, because I'm nervous.
I'm just shaking my leg. I'm nervous.
So at this point, I am done. I am officially frozen, and I have taken the liberty to find the screenshots from the text that occurred as I was in the...
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
You're gonna do it.
Here we go. Okay.
Michelle effing Dubinsky. What? Hurry up. I'm freezing. Yes. KK.
So nonchalant.
I respond with, the series of probably one of the best series of texts I've ever sent. I have frostbite. Bye. Get out. Speed it up. I'm a popsicle. Frozen and delicious. Jesus. A goodbye is good enough. Magella. Thank the Lord Jesus himself. Shut the door. Bye, Felicia. You are not my cinnamon apple. Yes. Praise the Lord.
And she's texting, my phone is in the center console, blowing up. It is just like vibrating. Like between my phone going off and the car shaking, I'm trying not to laugh because this is a serious conversation, but she's like texting me that she's a frozen popsicle and bye Felicia. And I'm like, it was just a whirlwind. It was quite the time.
It really was. And I think the best part of this whole story is that we came to find out, like much later on, like almost a year later, that he had actually found out that I was in the trunk, I want to say a day or two after this conversation occurred.
Yeah. So I have an inkling as to how he found out.
I know how.
But when I saw him again, like it had to have been because it was college already. So it had to have been like a year later. And we were just like talking, catching up, whatever. And he was like, oh, yeah, by the way, remember that time I knew that Brie was in the car? And I was like, what? Excuse me? And he was like, yeah, I knew, like, I found out like the next day. And I was like, oh.
We thought we were so slick.
Sorry.
We really, really thought we were that slick. We're like, he'll never know.
He'll never know.
Never
but
know.
he did find out. I mean, he laughed it off because,
I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. It was funny.
It was, but okay. The reason I tell this story is because it truly is the defining moment of what separates a friend from a best friend. Because I want you, as like someone listening to this right now, to listen and think about who your closest people are. If any one of those people looked at you and said, get in the trunk, are you getting in the trunk? Because if the answer is no, they're not your best friend.
Yeah.
Not your best friend. It's not happening.
And on the other side of that, there's two. You and Alice are the only people that I personally would get in the trunk for.
Oh, no, absolutely.
If anyone else asked me, I'd laugh in their face and be like, okay, good luck. Bye. Let me know how it goes.
Without a doubt. And it's so funny because this is not the only instance where we literally have just banded together and been like, okay, so this is what's going on. I'm not going to give all the details because it's not really my story to tell, but I thought it was hysterical. We were going to the beach one day.
Mm-hmm.
And Mish had class in the morning. So we were waiting for her class to finish. And I'm all ready for the beach. I'm trying to get everything together. And I get a phone call. So she calls me saying she's going to this kid's house with a baseball bat to beat him up. And I wholeheartedly was like, all right, I'll drive. Thinking we're joking. Thinking she's just mad, letting off steam. And she goes, okay, I'll see you in 5 minutes. And hung up the phone.
I'm in class. I'm just fully expecting to end this class. I'm going to go to Bree's house in my bathing suit, ready to go to the beach. And no, that just was not the case.
No. I call Mish on the way to her house. I'm like, hey, I'm just giving you a heads up. I'd be going to jail. So I got this phone call. I explained what happened. And Mish was like, all right, I got you. I got bail money. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. That was the conversation. There was no, oh my God, what are you thinking? You can't. No. Picked her up and drove her.
Yep.
And Mish was ready with the bail money. She was like, I got you.
There was no jail time.
None. It didn't escalate to that point. But it was the point of literally showing up, no questions asked, and being whatever your people need.
Yeah. Whether it's the right thing to do, I'm just saying that they don't condone violence where not necessary, although Bree disagrees.
Mish doesn't condone violence. I think there should be a rule in place where you get one good smack a day for that one idiot in your life that just ruined your day. But that's just me personally. I don't think everyone agrees with that.
I think
I just licked the mic again.
Oh my God. I think I'm going to get you a punching bag one day.
It's okay. I mean,
I think that would be a great gift for you.
But to all of this, the whole point of it is literally showing up for people, and being there, and back to the idea of not judging, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was no judgment there. There was no, oh my God, what are you thinking? Blah, blah. No, it was, all right, this is what you need. Okay, we could talk about it later. Yeah. I'll tell you that this was a dumb idea later. But in that moment, you need me to show up, I'm there.
Right.
And that's it.
Which brings me to kind of my next qualm, if you will.
Qualm. I like that word. Oh,
thank you. People in large friend groups or large friend groups in general, and I'll preface by saying I don't knock it.
No, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I don't. It's a lot. It's a lot of work to have like 15 friends because I don't like. We saw it in high school, right? The cliques and the huge groups so a lot of them are still friends today, which good for you. Love that for you. But it's a lot. Like for us three to try to coordinate a time to get together.
Oh my gosh.
Is a nightmare.
It's like we need to like set up a meeting, like a phone call where we can all be like, okay, does this date work? No. I had this on that date. Oh, this date works. Wait, never mind. I have this. It's craziness.
Yeah.
I mean, to do that with that many people?
Right. And also even like we do our gift exchange, right, for the holidays. Getting 15 more people things on top of like your family and your whoever, like it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
This year on my Christmas list alone, I had over 25 people.
That's wild.
25. To add another, 13 people, 12, 13 people to that? we would be doing a Secret Santa.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And maybe that's what they do.
Maybe.
Good for you.
Well, I will say, like, there was a point in both of our lives that we were a part of a larger friend group. I think it was like 7 or 8 people.
Who? When? What are you talking about? Oh, yeah.
So we did
I blocked that out.
I think everyone did. It was traumatizing. But there was a point where we did have a larger friend group, and it wasn't hard in that way. But I think it wasn't hard because of the fact that, one, like, the main people in the group were all friends. So, like, we were best friends. Alice was a part of this group. And it was like, we hung out regardless. So at that time, we were in high school, like college. So we were seeing each other all the time anyway. So, it was super easy in that sense because they were people we were going to be seeing anyway.
Yeah.
But for people who don't have a dynamic like that, how does it work?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's just not something that I'm interested in. I like our little circle. I love our little us 3 group.
I think the other part of that is, you want to surround yourself with people that you want to emulate. Like, I think about this all the time. I truly would love to be able to handle situations as gracefully and amazingly as Mish does.
Oh,
it's true. I'm not that person. I'm the person that flies off the handle. And, like, I know, like, yes, you guys, like, you guys don't know me or love me quite yet, but hopefully you will soon. But this is why they love me, is that I'm that person. I'm the person that's like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? But I hope to be able to, with growth, be able to handle things gracefully when necessary. I mean, I think I've gotten better, but
I think you are amazing. And I hope to be as confident as you one day, because the way that you carry yourself through life, and you just have such a I got this mentality no matter what. Like, no matter what life throws at you, you were just like, I got it. I'm going to do what I have to do.
You're going to make me cry.
Don't cry.
I told you we're not sappy. I don't know what is happening, but there's a little
We're talking about best friends.
I know.
And we're best friends. And I do love you. And going off of, aspiring to be the people around you and surrounding yourself with people that you look up to, you are so confident. And I hope to learn that from you. Although we've been friends for 11 years and we're both still growing and becoming the people that we want to be. But kind of like how you said that you want to handle things gracefully like I do, which I didn't realize I do, but thank you. I hope to carry myself as confidently as you. And like when life throws something at me and I'm like frantic and like, oh my God, I'll get it done. But I'm like frantic and overwhelmed. I get very overstimulated very easily. Whereas you are like, I got it. I'm good. Like, I hope to get there one day.
I want you to know, like, I have those same thoughts. They're just in my head. They're happening. I just don't show them.
Mine are not in my head. Everyone around me knows that I'm frantic and I'm about to blow up. Like, it is very, very obvious. I get very frenzied.
But you know what? And like this, like just this conversation, it's this vulnerability of being able to recognize where we feel that we want to improve and seeing the people in our lives that we love and having someone to look up to in those areas.
Yeah.
And this like vulnerability, right? There's no competition. If at the end of the day, if we're in a crappy situation, I'm not going to be like, oh my gosh, why is she panicking?
Right.
And she's not going to be like, oh my gosh, she's keeping it together. Like, well, what is it? Like, no, it's okay. She's going to handle that.
Yeah.
In the sense of roles reversed, when something's going down and she's looking at me like, oh my God, she's going to fly off the handle right now. And it's going to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I got this, and steps in. Like, there is no animosity in terms of, oh, like I wish this or it's never like that. There's no jealousy.
Right. Or malice, which is super important because I feel like a lot of friendships these days have that.
Especially with girls.
Yes. It's jealousy. It's competition. It's malice. It's, like judgy. And we just don't have that.
No.
And I love that.
There is no judgment. There is no jealousy. There's no any of it. I love truly watching the life that Mish is building, the happiness and every step that she's going through, and watching her grow through it all. And through all of that, there is not a single ounce of jealousy or, oh, I want that for my, like, of course I want great things for myself, but I don't see Mish getting great things as a competition to me ever receiving them. It's two separate things. I love her and I want her to have all of the happiness in the world. All of it. She deserves infinity amount of happiness and love and just joy. And the fact that she is experiencing those things makes me happy. And I don't think there are a lot of true friendships where that is the number one thing rather than jealousy or competition.
I love you. I thought we were done with the sappiness.
I know, I'm sorry, but like it's just true, okay? I love her so much. And it's like, I know that we literally said like 15 times we're not being sappy, blah, blah, blah. But when you find people who are truly your people, that you're like, wow,
those are my people.
Like,
and their happiness is your happiness.
It's hard to not be sentimental or talk about all of those great things because they mean just as much to you as they do to them.
Right. Oh, I love us.
You. I love you.
Love us.
But actually, we were actually talking about this the other day. And the idea that we've grown to this point, right? Mm-hmm. There has been so many highs and lows over the years. And I don't mean that in the sense of like we weren't best friends at any point, because there was never a time when we were not best friends.
No.
But we truly have grown to this point because we have each grown individually as people.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we both grew together.
Yes.
Individually and as friends too. Like our friendship has flourished over the last 11 years. And with everything that has happened in our personal lives over the past 11 years, now seeing us now is just like making my, how old were we? 14. Yeah, my little 14-year-old heart so happy. Because it's truly amazing. Like, I don't know a lot of people that can say we've been best friends for 11 years.
Yeah.
And still, like, we never fought to the point of not speaking. Like, It was never one of those friendships where, you know, my mom would be like, oh, where's Brie? And I'd be like, oh, we got into a fight. We're not talking. No. Like, we never, ever had that. If we weren't speaking, it was because life got in the way. Exactly. And we just, you know, things got in the way. Things were happening. And there would be months where we would not speak, not for anything, but just because of life.
Absolutely.
But we always, always, always went back and picked up exactly where we left off. Like, no time has passed. And I think that not a lot of people can do that.
No.
And I also think that, like, people do fight, but we have a mutual understanding that nothing we say to each other is with malice or negativity or with bad intentions, right? Like, if there's something that you say that I disagree with, I'll tell you my honest opinion, and you know that I'm not telling you my honest opinion to hurt you.
Right.
But you're going to take that and you're going to, you know, let it register, whatever, but you're never going to not speak to me over it.
No, I think that stems to a lot of the point of respect. Mm-hmm. Like, you could be friends with someone and not truly respect them.
Right.
Like, there are plenty of people that I have known throughout the course of my life that I look back and I'm like, wow, I really didn't respect you as a person. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean that as you are not the kind of person that, in my eyes, shows up in a way that I would want myself to show up.
Right.
And there is so much mutual respect here that I know whatever she is saying is coming from, one, a good place, and two, she's telling it to me for good reason.
Right.
And we might not always agree, but we respect each other enough to listen and be like, I understand why you feel that way, but not me. And that's it.
Right.
There's no argument. There's no nothing.
Yeah. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, our friendship has truly grown because we as people have grown. Like obvious, like we've grown together, but I think friendships need if a friendship stays this is my life. If a friendship were to stay exactly the same as it was when it started, like we would not be friends anymore.
Right.
But both of us have truly gone on such a journey to figure out who we want to be and really work to grow to be that person.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think either of us are there yet or will ever truly be. I think that most growth that you want to see as a person, we're still human, right? We're never going to be this perfect whatever that we have in our heads. But we put in so much work into ourselves that we know how to show up for each other, and we respect and love the work that each of us are putting in respectively.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I also want to point out that going off of our growth as people and our friendship more specifically, speaking for myself, was not always a great friend. Like there were points in our friendship where I was a shitty friend, and I do take full responsibility for that. But I do think that those times are still important for our relationship growth, because I can reflect now and realize that I was a bad friend.
But there were also times that I was a shitty friend, and I look at those and I cringe as an adult now.
I do too, yeah.
Because you're like, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
But we were kids, like truly kids. But having that understanding and acceptance of ourselves to say, okay, that was an awful thing and I'd never want to do that now is so important.
But for us to be able to sit now and realize that like those points of our, relationship were what they were, shitty, and being able to, grow from that and continue our friendship at the way that it's going and not making those same mistakes now is huge. And like you were saying, if your relationship stays the same from when you meet to now, like you said, we wouldn't be friends.
No, exactly. You need to consistently be growing in order to truly be fulfilled within life. Like, I'm not saying, you always have to be working on a new project, but I think that growth is so, so important, not just to you as a person, but mentally.
Yeah.
Being able to recognize that like you are working on these things and, you're making constant effort towards some goal. And I don't know. It's important to grow.
All right. Let's move on. Okay. Let's move on from that and talk about why we keep each other around.
Sanity. Truly.
Yeah.
I would be a much more violent and aggressive human being if it wasn't for me.
Oh.
I was not expecting it all there.
Well, I keep you sane and you keep me sane. And yes, sanity is a huge part why we keep best friends around. Because again, like if we're going off of friends versus best friends, you're not going to explain your violent tendencies to friends.
I mean, I explain my violent tendencies to anyone that will listen, if I'm being honest. But like a good example of that would be like your outfit, right? Yeah. I would never ask a friend if I look okay.
Yeah.
Because they're automatically going to be like, yeah, you look great. Where if I asked Mish or Alice, do I look okay? They would be like, I get what you're going for, but like you got to change the shirt. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And like that, because there's a level of honesty.
Right.
Like you said before, that line.
Yeah.
It's so important.
It is very important.
And it keeps us sane. Because if you're living in La La Land, then you're obviously not sane and your best friend's not doing their job.
Exactly. Yes. And also assurance, too, is a huge part of why we keep each other around. Because if you are so caught up in your own thoughts and not expressing them, or you're expressing them, but you're not getting the assurance back that you need, that of like what decisions you're making, right? Like a huge thing in your life recently, you were questioning and you needed the assurance from the people around you.
Absolutely.
That you were making the right decision. I think that's huge. And, we need, as human beings, we need that level of assurance and reassurance to make sure that we're we're doing okay, even if we're not.
No, for sure. I'm the type of person, like, I'll talk about something 18 million times, and my favorite question to ask you is, am I crazy?
Yeah, I love that question. I'll be like, yeah, or I'll say, no, absolutely not.
Right. And I'm a type of person where I don't want to be crazy. I know that I can be, and I'm very aware of that. So I need that extra person to be like, you're not being crazy. I understand why you would feel this way. And, have someone that's an outside set of eyes be able to help me decide, okay, is this over the top, or am I reacting in a reasonable way?
Yeah, fair point.
You're very level-headed, so I feel like there aren't many times where you're like, am I crazy? But occasionally.
I have a fuse. I have a very short fuse for sure, I will admit. And I know, like you said, you're being crazy. I know that I can be crazy, but I will not react until I have explored and talked about all my options.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
I have to cool down before making any rash decisions.
Which is why she handles things with such grace and why I look up to her.
Aww.
Because, like, I have a very short fuse as well, and I think we're very different in that aspect. I am very much a knee-jerk reaction person. Like, if you say something and my blood starts boiling, that's it. Like, there's no calming me down unless you physically leave. And I don't know, I just think it's so interesting that we both end up doing the same things, which is thinking through all the options and trying to come to a what would be the best way to approach this. Yeah. But the way that we get there is completely different.
It's so different.
Mm-hmm.
So different. And that's what you get with the two of us.
Literally.
So,
I mean, I feel like we have explored literally almost every facet of what is a best friend. But I think just to open it up, like, does anybody listening have any one crazy stories with your best friend that you're like, oh my gosh, this was hysterical and someone else needs to, like, bear witness?
Yeah. We can tell it. We can cross out your names, leave your names out if you don't want them read. But yeah, if you ever got in a trunk for someone, I need to know.
Literally.
I was the only one that did that because Ginge would do it for me. Right, Ginge? She would. I love you.
Also, if you just have anything that you think that we feel like we left out.
Yeah, as to what a best friend is. Like, what do you guys think a best friend is? And what would you do or not do for your best friend?
Absolutely. So get involved. We want to hear from you, literally. So there's a couple ways that you can do that. One, find us on Instagram at Chat MBTea. Or
YouTube. No, just kidding.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Where are they going to find us? YouTube. No, just kidding. YouTube.
You can, if you're listening and want to watch the video version of this episode, you can find us on YouTube, also at Chat MBTea at YouTube.
It's all linked below.
It's all linked below. Or you can also email us at chatmbtea@gmail.com. And that's how you can get involved. So we would love to hear from you. And yeah, we hope to see you next time.
Thank you guys so much for listening. See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.